Welcome back to Sonic Speed Reading. Been a while since we checked in on the IDW series, so I figured we'd spend this week getting caught up in a few videos. I was considering putting this all together in one large chunky video, but just in terms of the story pacing, it's going to go down a little bit better because there are a lot of fights back to back to back, and to give some of you a chance to get caught up if you've fallen behind. I will always recommend you go check out the stories for yourself. I'll have a link to where I buy them digitally in the description. But before we get into all of that, I need to talk about today's sponsor, Opera GX. This is without a doubt the go-to web browser for gamers. Sorry, Adam, which is nice since Opera did design this specifically for the video game enthusiast. It has a ton of crazy features. As soon as you download it, you can integrate your favorite social media platforms right there on the sidebar and customize the browser's themes, colors, and backgrounds, which is why you're seeing all this sexy green. Even offers a 4-star mode for every web page out there. Nice. But it's more than just a pretty face, it's also ridiculously convenient. Gives you notifications when your favorite Twitch streamers go live, or integrate your Spotify so you can jam out while you browse. Oh, but you built up a bunch of bookmarks on that other browser? Yeah, don't worry about it. GX will transfer all of that stuff lickety-split. And it does all of this without eating up a ton of your computer's resources. And it even lets you customize that. You can control just how much CPU, RAM, and network bandwidth is used by the browser, so you can dial it down anytime you're going hard with your gaming sessions, all without losing any of your tabs. I mean, just look at all the resources Chrome is eating up compared to Opera. What does it need all that stuff for? Knock it off! Opera GX is safer, far more efficient, and just prettier than any other web browser out there. And they have GX Mobile, which works in tandem with the desktop version, letting you transfer files with just a click of a button. I've got a QR code to get that version up and running on your preferred mobile device if you want. And for you crazy people who aren't even using the desktop version, I've got you covered. I'll have a link in the description and in the comments below. Guys, you have absolutely nothing to lose. It is completely free. The results speak for themselves. Go check it out. Thank you again to Opera GX for sponsoring the video, and let's get on with it. Issue 52 is where we switch back from Ian Flynn to Evan Stanley, providing not only the script, but also the art, with inks by Rick Mack and Maria Keene, colors by Reggie Graham, letters by Sean Lee, with editors Riley Farmer and David Marriott on board as well. Things pick up right where 51 ended, with our heroes crawling out of the wreckage from their failed attempt to leave the Eggperial City, with Metal Sonic standing, waiting to attack Bell, Tails, and a wounded Sonic. As Metal charges up for an attack, Sonic tells them they got to move, but Tails, remembering that Kit was also with them, quickly runs over to grab the little blue fox and pushes the entire group out of the way of Metal's attack. From there, they make their way to a narrow alleyway, as Metal won't be able to reach top speed in such a tight corridor. They make their way over, and Tails does his best to figure out an escape route. He didn't get a great look at the layout from above the city, but the smart little fox still has some bits and pieces, so he has a general idea of where they should go. He tells them to take a left, but they're immediately met by Metal. Bell begs the robot to stop, saying he doesn't have to do this, but of course, the angry robot hedgehog takes no heed. And even though Sonic is injured, him and Tails still work together beautifully, as he instructs the little fox to send him up towards a bit of cargo, which Sonic knocks over with his good leg, temporarily incapacitating Metal. They move out of the alleyway to some crystals that Tails recognizes, so they're at least on the right path. Unfortunately, Kit has finally woke up and begins to flail in a panic, knocking himself loose from Bell. Tails tries to calm him down, but all Kit seems to care about is finding Surge. But before they can catch the little blue fox up to speed, Sonic hears a commotion from the darkened alleyway. Metal is going to soon be upon them again. In Sonic's current condition, he doesn't stand a chance against his doppelganger, and as capable as Tails is, it's very unlikely he and Bell stand much of a chance either. So Sonic takes charge of the situation and just lays it out to Kit how it is. And as we've already found out, Kit responds well to authority. So Sonic tells him that Kit is the only one that can save them, that can get them out of the situation. And Kit immediately agrees, but he needs to find some water to recharge his pack. Thankfully, the canisters next to them hold a great deal of water, as we find out as Bell kicks them wide open. And just in time as Metal comes launching out of the alleyway like a hog out of hell. But Kit, who now has someone new to protect, gives it his all, tangling Metal up in water tendrils while sending others into the crystals, cracking them and sending them crashing onto the confused robot. From here, the comic switches its focus back over to Surge, and if you remember from issue 51, after she woke up from her fight with Sonic, she found herself among piles of discarded robot bits and other sorts of trash, all going into an Eggman-faced furnace. As she climbs the mountains of trash, dodging plows and the like, she comes across the discarded glove of Dr. Starline. Remember, this comic still has to be made for kids, so they have to be clever in the ways they tell the reader and the characters that someone has died. And this scene is here to let Surge know that Starline is no more. Now, you could argue that a discarded glove without a body means he could have just dropped it and made his escape, and they certainly could use that later on down the line if they wanted to bring it back. But in terms of the narrative right now, this is here to let Surge know Starline is gone, and in turn that means she should technically be free. She no longer has to worry about the control of the platypus. She throws the glove into the furnace, indicating she is really and truly done with Starline and is ready to move on to build her own story. Or at least, that's what she thinks. Because as we see on the very next page, as she jumps off of one of the plows towards one of the trash chutes, she tells herself that she will become stronger than even Starline could imagine. She still has Starline on her mind, even more than she realizes right now in this moment. A little while later, she finds herself in the same room as Cubot, who unfortunately can't put up much of a fight against the angry Tingrick. I know a lot of fans seem to have a lot of hate for Orbot and Cubot, but I don't mind them, and I love that Cubot here says that he knows 16 ways he can break a man's neck. Just not something I expected to read in this comic book. It got a laugh out of me. It's also a bold claim since none of these characters seem to have necks, and Surge doesn't pay him any attention anyway, as she just holds the robot by his neck and walks around the room looking at different weapons until she finally comes across a very interesting set of bracelets. Yeah, I could see that matching her fashion sense. As it turns out, this is the Dynamo Cage. As Cubot quickly explains after one single threat, it's used to harness energy, and he specifically mentions the Wisps. As the games point out, the Wisps can give you power if they allow you to have their power. You can't just take it willy-nilly, except that Eggman has been taking it willy-nilly ever since Sonic Colors. And this is actually very reminiscent to the upgrade that Metal Sonic got in that Sonic Colors Ultimate short animation that released before the game. I've always wondered if the item capsules were made by Eggman, as these designs are very similar to, well, maybe not the old monitors, but the more modern capsules. I don't know if that's ever been explained, but that would make some kind of sense, I suppose. All that rambling aside, yeah, obviously, Surge grabs a hold of the Dynamo Cage and puts it on herself. And from there, we switch our attention back over to Sonic. While we were with Surge, it looks like he and the rest of his team managed to escape the city as they finally reached the wall. And as we can see with the rising sun, a lot of time has passed. And I just love the choice of colors here. I posted about this on Twitter when this originally came out, but I called this Synthwave City because that's the most fitting thing I could think of. I just love the creativity that comes out to play, not just in the line work, but also the color choice. Anyway, we see Sonic and Belle sitting atop the wall overlooking the Imperial City, with Tails dropping Kit off on the other side below, saying that he'll be right back. Belle, exhausted, expresses her relief, saying she can't wait to get out of here. But Sonic says it's just for now. This is only temporary. He's going to have to come back here because the city is going to present a problem. But before he can finish his thought, they hear a loud noise, which Sonic has been predicting. It seems that Metal Sonic has finally broken free from the rubble that had been piled on him by his encounter with Kit earlier. Metal launches into the sky, immediately pinning on the location of Sonic and Belle. Furious, he launches full blast at the pair, with Sonic telling Belle to stay behind him. But Belle leaps in front of Sonic, getting between him and Metal. And amazingly, Metal comes to a full and complete stop before crashing into the little puppet. As we have seen before, Metal and other badniks seem to regard Belle as another creation of Eggman. And this is Metal Paws, something Belle had been banking on. But unfortunately, that doesn't last, because just as she thought she had brought brought an end to Metal's rampage, the angry robot takes her out with one quick dismissive smack. Sonic, of course, is not happy about this, and while he's not in any condition to fight, he does put up his dukes, ready to go at it one more time. But they are once again interrupted, this time by a loud explosion, and Sonic is quick to mock Metal. Sure, Bell was a little off base in terms of making Metal stop his assault, but Sonic knows full well that regardless of how badly Metal wants to take down his fleshy counterpart, his prime directive above everything else is ensuring the safety of Eggman. And that old school sass and snark comes out as Sonic tells Metal to run back to Daddy Dearest to make sure he's okay. Metal, who does not have any means of expressing facial features, is still clearly furious because he knows Sonic is right. And without wasting another second, Metal goes rushing off to see what's going on with Eggman. Sonic, Tails, and Bell are left wondering what exactly that explosion was, but we are quick to find out as we turn our attention over to Eggman himself, waving away a fresh batch of smoke, assuming that Cubot has managed to destroy one of his prototypes. But it wasn't Cubot, it was instead Surge, now fully equipped with the Dynamo Cage, and for the first time coming face to face with Dr. Eggman. And that, my friends, is where issue 52 ends, and that's where this particular video is ending as well. Yes, we do have quite a few issues left to look at, but you're not going to wait long for the next video, so if you're not subscribed already, obviously do that. And if you want to read the books yourself, again, link in the description for you. But we're going to cut it off here because, again, we're going to get into fight after fight, and there's going to be a lot more to pick apart as we go on. So be sure to stick around next time as we see Surge take on, well, everyone. Before we go, I want to give a huge shout out to the folks that support me over on Patreon. This could not be done without your help. Guys, thank you so much. And hey, if you got a little extra to spare and you want to pitch in, I'll have a link in the description. For just $1 a month, you get access to our Discord server and you get early videos. Either way, thank you so much for checking out the video, and an extra special thanks to these fine folks right here: Kyle Winter, Cyrus the Skeptic, Joseph Duncan Sonic 2 Blue, John, Josh Strider, Casey Crunch, Faizan Razul, Zanderoni the Painter, Hatsworth, Tiny Jericho, Jack of All Spades, Tristan Trapp, Meekers, Dun Dun, Quote Resident Fanboy, Miles the Prower, Jeremy Singer, Mr. Boojay, World's Greatest Bard, Sam Webster, Dwight Graham, Fishflop, Lucas Lipker, The Bad Pal, Jonathan Dobbs, Cloverhood, Mr. Dr. SP, Doctorate Pending, Cecil the Glade, The Dark Neon, Stefan Plakanica, 3 Monic, Graham J. Hall, Lenny X, Wayne is Boss, Jamie Chevalier, Ledrick, David 20 covers more like David $20, and you can too, Jimmy Duke STR, The Lumberjack. Today's video isn't you know what, Otis, we're gonna just skip that one. NBTV, Mute, Trash Baphomet, Autumn from Twitter.com, Jin Seotame, Nezend, Enerjack5, Grayson Coniger, Spades the Nocturne, Ken K, Ven 101, Paxton Bisbeeson, Darren 7, Stevie Cole, Where's Arnold, 3 Rule 4, Twilord, A Seer Warns of a Deadly Fate, Paisley, Eric Delgado, Cody Gracius, Kodinsky, Jamo Art, PK Durbar, Crimson Rose, Give Up Your Children, Separate, Sonic PAJ, Mooninescent, Zagard Lagan. Just reiterating, this video isn't sponsored. Isn't sponsored by Ray Card Rainier Bunsen. You shouldn't visit private.com. Otis, you're gonna give me so much trouble, man. Roxas the Cat, Godzilla, Makuta of Salt, Gleam the Anomaly, Alexander Watson, Calais Presley, Native Nerd 27, Neil Gompa, Conan Kudo, Sharif Pi, Aeon 3 Valafor, my man, Zubair, and Tenric Terror. Otis, I was going to record just one read because I'm going to be doing like 3 recordings tonight, and now I have to go and re-record this entire list later on after I do the second video, all because you're getting me in trouble because of the certain particular sponsor that's connected to this video. So I hope you're happy. I hope your dollars are worth it. I've never seen somebody spend so much money just to troll me this badly. It's kind of brilliant, and I hate how much I love it. Anyway, we're gonna get going. I'll be back later this week with even more Sonic speed reading. Frontiers will happen eventually. Ninja Turtles, I gotta talk about Ninja Turtles. That's happening soon. All right, that's gonna do it. Catch you guys later. Toot toot, Sonic Warriors.